Right, okay, welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about some stuff that I find really interesting, and I think some other people will as well. I want this to lead onto a bigger video talking about the business in depth on a whole, how we started going through every step. But today I want to talk about each part of our business, so say what we started with. I want to talk about TikTok, about WhatNot, about the website, about vending, pros and cons of all of them and why we like some, there's some bad sides about some of them, and just have a conversation about that kind of stuff, because I know there's a lot of people who want to start a business. They don't know where to start on TikTok, on WhatNot. Do they start vending? So I'm going to talk about all that kind of stuff. And I think I just realised I've got the tag on this polo still. I didn't want to wear it's a Matalan polo. I didn't want to wear my polo for the video, and I found this in the office and I've just chucked it on. Staying there. So let's get straight in. I've just recorded my business update video as well, and that was definitely on it. Fuck's sake. Anyways, diving in. So we started with one of these things here. These TCG Tower vending machines that we purchased. So I'm going to have to rip this off. Yeah, strong me. So we started with one of these. So we travelled all the way down to Sittingbourne to look at this vending machine because we didn't know what to do. Me and Isaac at the time, we was thinking, I'd seen them advertised online. I'd looked at starting a Pokemon retail business. This was over 3 years ago. And obviously when everything was a bit simpler, a bit quieter, and Pokemon was popular, but obviously not at the heights of today. So we went down to Sittingbourne, we took a look at these machines, spoke to a guy, and was like, yeah, okay, we'll buy one. So we bought it, and we stuck it in a shopping centre in Hull, and lo and behold, it did really well. I expected it to, because it's pretty cool. Obviously, these are quite common now, they're up and down the country. We only have 3, but yeah, it was real good. We had we had an interview with the BBC and all this kind of stuff. It was in the newspaper, it was online, and it was cool. And then we bought a second machine, and these have done well. However, what happened was our supply of Pokemon at a certain time, around Surging Sparks and Twilight Masquerade, basically we could not get hold of any more half booster boxes because we used to get them from the supplier who would sell the vending machines, and that obviously meant we could no longer put Pokemon in the machines anymore. For some reason, packs from full booster boxes don't vend as well as half booster boxes, and even though they're all the same size and stuff, it's still like air in the pack. We can't really figure it out. So the vending machines were great at first, and honestly over the last 18 months, they've done okay. I've had like Lorcana and Premier League packs. I've probably not paid as much attention to them as I should do because in other avenues of the business has been going so well. These have kind of dropped off. Obviously there's one behind me now. It's not in use, but yeah, that's the vending machines. There's 2 still out there. I'm going to try and get some Pokemon back in. Now the final thing I'll say on them is I will always kind of have a soft spot in my heart for these machines because it's how we started the business, and without them we wouldn't have built what we have today, which is still a small TCG business, but they've played probably the biggest part in that, to be honest, because they kick-started with everything. So love you, big man. So obviously we had the vending machines, and the next thing we did was we started a TikTok shop. Now I think originally we weren't doing rip and ships, we just started selling products on there. God, we were selling like Fusion Strike and Silver Tempest half booster boxes. I'm sure at one point we had Silver Tempest for like 55 a box, and I can't remember the numbers exactly, but sometimes we was making 3, 4, 5, 6 quid a box. But obviously we could get these boxes on tap, so once we sold them all, we could just get more, just keep churning them out. So obviously at the time, it made sense. Now TikTok Shop was good. It started off a lot better than it is now. Commissions were a lot less. There was a lot more vouchers. It worked a lot better. There was kind of less people doing this kind of stuff. So when we started with the rip and ships as well, we started so small with, God, 10 to 15 viewers. I still remember them first streams that I used to do from home. I don't anymore. And my little box room just used to be an absolute tip. Like, it wasn't sustainable. And we ended up moving out into an office down the line because it wasn't sustainable. I didn't want to keep any stuff at home or anything like that, even back then. And it was great. Like, rip and ships, eventually, like, we stayed consistent. I was doing them every week on a Tuesday. It was so good. I'd sometimes start at 8 and 9 p.m, finish at 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'd be up for work. We started work at 7, half 7, which was crazy, but we're just ripping packs all night, hundreds of packs, literally hundreds. Paradox, Forces, Tempest, Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, all your early or your late Sword and Shield sets, or mid to late, and then your early Scarlet and Violet sets, Paldea Evolved. We're just shredding through packs. And that literally led to my TikTok streams in the end before I went away to Asia and the supply dropped off. I mean, we were getting 2, 3, sometimes 400 people every single stream. And I used to try and test, like, if it was like, I was thinking these like bots in the stream, like, what is this? But the chat used to be like all different people talking at a time. I'd ask people to test it, and loads of people were talking. So I'm pretty sure the numbers were pretty true. And yeah, we was probably probably the most viewed rip and ship in the UK or something at that time. I'm pretty sure it was. Like, not a lot of people was pulling them numbers whatsoever, which was sick. But then I went to Asia, did a bit of traveling, and came back. Supply had dropped, and yeah, obviously stopped streaming. But TikTok Shop as a whole, it's been real good, and it's been a part of helping us grow this business to where we are today. It got us an original customer base. I've met loads of people online in terms of people coming out to our chat and our streams every single week, which is definitely the best part about it. It's the best part about that. It's been good. It's definitely got worse over the last couple of years, like less vouchers, higher commissions, payouts being longer at times, getting flagged and violated for stuff. Like, it's got worse, but it's not the worst platform in the world, and it's still usable, and we still use it to this day. I spoke about in a video I've just made. We've just started streaming on there again consistently, and I still do like it. The only thing I don't like is making the TikToks. I can't do like the, hey guys, today I can't do all that stuff. I just can't do it. I can't do these over the top videos. This is what I prefer, just standing and talking to a camera. And if I do post a TikTok, I probably could try to record it about 50 times and then just thought, fuck it, and chucked it on anyways. So that's TikTok. Again, it's good. It used to be better. It's helped us a lot, and hopefully it can continue to be good. I could probably utilise it better, post more videos and this and that. Maybe I don't use it to its full potential, and that's probably the truth, to be honest. But maybe I should just start chucking some more TikToks out. I don't know. I don't like doing stuff I don't want to do, to be honest. So yeah, that is TikTok Shop. Right, okay, I'm next going to touch upon WhatNot. Then I'm going to go on to the website, then back to WhatNot, which will all make sense. So WhatNot, originally, they messaged me on Instagram before, this was a couple of years ago now, saying, do you want to come stream on WhatNot, this and that? Give this incentive, like no commissions for a month, whatever. I was like, yeah, all right, we'll come try it out. Now, obviously sealed stuff was selling real well on TikTok, and I believe at the time, the WhatNot commissions were definitely higher than TikTok. So I'm thinking, right, well, let's try and do some singles on WhatNot or do a bit of ripping and stuff. But just starting from 0 followers and obviously like having to build the traction up again, it kind of put me off because it was flying on TikTok at this one time. So I didn't really know what to do. And I found at first when I was doing WhatNot, I would do a WhatNot stream and people want packs and people want singles. And then we didn't really have a good singles inventory. We didn't have many at all because we weren't really doing any card shows. And I kind of just didn't love it. There was a lot of scamming going on at the time. And WhatNot is a great platform, honestly, it really is. So there are some dodgy people who use it, obviously. And maybe that could be controlled a little bit better. But the platform itself is good. You know, the user interface is good. It's all good. The financial breakdown is great. But I just didn't click with it at the time. So I dipped off WhatNot. And what I started to do was focus on building a website, basically. Now, at the time, there was talk in the US of TikTok getting banned and all this stuff. And that got me thinking. I was like, and I was watching people online like Pokey and E talking. Websites have been around since the age of the internet, basically, since the dawn of the internet. Whereas TikTok's been around at that point, I don't know, a few years, and TikTok Shop maybe 18 months. I thought, what if this was to get banned here or crumble or something was to happen? You never know what's going to happen. It's still not fully proven how popular it's going to be. If we were to lose our TikTok Shop and our platform on TikTok, essentially we would lose our full customer base. So I was like, it's so important for us to build a website and yeah, like do Shopify and all that kind of stuff. So we built a website. Now this was at a time where, again, supply was still low. We didn't really have anything. And the traction for the website at the start was so slow. You know, it's hard when you haven't got stuff to sell. It was pretty difficult. However, over time, I won't go in too deep with it, but the website is probably my favorite way to sell products. It's your own site. Shopify commissions are lower, they're like 3%. And it's just so good. Like, people Googling Pokevend or Pokemon cards and reaching us without having to see a video or whatever. I love that. We use the mailing list to get people back in and give them offers. And I just really like the website. It's something you feel safe with, and it's never really going to go away unless the internet crashes and burns or whatever. But there's just something about the website. It's just ours, and I just really like it. I know it's nothing special. It's literally a Shopify. Millions of people have them. But I just love ours, and I love the fact that we did it. And now we've got a customer base on there. We've got a mailing list of like 600 to 700 people. And that's only going to continue to grow. And I think it's just so important to have your own website. I really do. Because you never want to know what's going to happen to these platforms like TikTok, etc. I know they're all going to be safe now, but at the time it just seemed like the right thing to do. And I'm so glad we did it. It was real important. And these days, the website flies for us. We get multiple orders every single day. We do discounts through the website every Monday. We're mailing list Monday. And it's class. I love it. Hopefully we can continue to grow that. And it can be a great avenue and outlet for the business. And yeah, I don't know. Website's sick, basically. So now I'll go back to WhatNot and talk about that and how we view it now. Because before, honestly, I wasn't overly keen. I knew it was me. It was it's me, not you kind of relationship situation. I knew it was me because a lot of people loved it. It wasn't right for us at the time, and I'm glad we didn't persist with it at the time because I've just been forcing it. And now I always said we'll wait until we're in a position where we can actually give it a good go. And that's what we've done. And in the last month, we've started streaming on WhatNot. Now this links into vending, which I also want to talk about, because now we're vending at least averaging 2 card shows every month or one every couple of weeks. We've obviously got a better singles inventory, which means we've got singles to do on WhatNot. Whereas before, when we tried it, I was chucking up like shitty singles or whatever, and it was all right, like it was fine, but there was no long term with it or mid to long term traction you could gain from streaming on WhatNot with the inventory we had. And it wasn't worth at the time. I was getting a big WhatNot inventory in because I was doing so well on TikTok and I had so much sealed stuff. So that's the story of WhatNot. Now we absolutely love it. Archie loves WhatNot. He streams on there for us. We do a stream on a Thursday, me and him, and he jumps on usually on a Tuesday, just doing singles and doing requests from the binders. We don't do any dodgy shite like people do on there. Like there's so many great people on WhatNot and vendors and businesses, whatever. But there is also just, I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but there's some absolute loons on there as well. So you always want to do your research before buying on there. If we don't really do any £1 starts at the minute until we've built up a bigger audience. We've tried it. So much stuff we're selling cheaper, which is fine. It's great for the customer to get a good deal. But obviously as a business, you want to end up in a profit. So we are now have stacks of £1 starts, £2 starts, £5 starts, £10 starts. And then we do requests from the binders, which we do at sticker price, or we maybe knock a couple of quid off if people do buy multiples or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, WhatNot's so much better when you're ready for it. I've always said I want to do it when I'm ready, and now we're ready. It's going real well. It's going so much better than before. And rather than worrying about it going well and thinking if the stream's going to do decent, we always know we're going to have a decent stream and it's only going to get better and better. We've got OBS set up as well now, which I forgot to mention. We've done that for TikTok and for WhatNot, and it is just so much better. Like so much better. The streams are growing week by week, and I truly believe that we'll become a very popular streaming business or platform or whatever you want to say it again. And I'm buzzing for that to come because I do back us to do that. I truly do. Without sounding like a tosspot, I genuinely believe we can do that. So that's what we're aiming for, to become one of the popular streams on WhatNot and TikTok again. Voice break every video, and yeah, that's about that. I've got vending to talk about next. Right, so the last thing I want to talk about is vending at card shows. Now, I actually maybe want to make a separate video about this because we're still pretty newcomers to vending. I mean, we've been doing it for a couple of years, but in the early stages, we were only doing like a show here and there. We weren't really doing it too much. We was only taking sealed inventory, and now obviously we take singles and slabs, and sealed still, but not as much. Now, vending is really good. It's real good for business. It's real good for putting your name out there, your face out there. It's good for content because you can make vendor POVs and TikTok interactions and all that stuff, which is something I'm slacking a little bit with, but I am on with making vendor videos from previous shows and clipping it into TikTok and all that bollocks. But what is vending like for the business? Vending is brilliant. I think vending is so important because obviously when you're online, you're just a website, it means nothing. But to put a face to the business or like an interaction to the name sort of thing, if that makes sense, like between me, Isaac and Archie, obviously you would trust us three to be good at interacting with people. We're sociable, and I'd like to think that we're sound with people. So I like to do that rather than it just be a website. Obviously give out business cards. If people want to buy from us again, great. If not, no problem. It is what it is. People buy from where they want to buy. And all the people want to come back to us because they've met us and we thought was all right or whatever. You've made a good impression. That's really important. And I think that's when people revisit your table, when you've been vending, say you've done a card show, you meet some people, yada yada, have interaction, and then they come back in a few weeks and they want to come back to your table. That's the kind of like the best compliment you can get. And yeah, that stuff always makes me pretty happy. It's rewarding, it's good for business. Singles and slabs do really well there. Obviously you buy in and you're obviously selling, but obviously you can take in trades and stuff as well, work out deals with people. You can get hustled by little kids and hustled by other people, which is fun. If you don't ask, you don't get. Sometimes you don't come to a deal, sometimes you do, but that's all part of it. And it's all just about being fair, being respectful and being honest with people essentially, which is what we aim to do every single time. And I truly do believe we've got to be some of the best out there at it. Not saying other people are bad, but I just know that we just really do try and be as good as we can and fair all the time. And if you ever do think that we haven't been fair or whatever, please drop us a message. We're always as fair as possible. Truly we are, because we think that that's how our business is going to thrive, just by being fair and honest. Some people offer more aggressive, should I say aggressive trade, like lesser trade percentages than us, like 60-70%. We do 70 to 90%, which a lot of people do as well. I'm not saying no one else does that, because other people do, but we are on the upper end of like generous payers for trades. I would like to say the only bad thing about that is when we go to WhatNot, obviously the commissions are like 10%, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. If you traded in at 85-90%, you kind of lose your margin on WhatNot and stuff. But to be honest with the singles, I just concentrate on the shows, and anything we've bought in, maybe at 70-75%, you can run through WhatNot. That's kind of how we work it. Obviously, you want to be making money. It's a business, I understand. You know, it sounds weird to talk about sometimes, but ultimately for PokeVend, when I'm running all this stuff, as much I love to give people free stuff and do deals and give people stuff cheaper and all that stuff, ultimately I love to do that more than anything. But at the end of it all, I want us to be in a decent profit position where it's good enough for us to run this business and for me to try and take it full time in the next few years. That is the ultimate goal. So it's finding that balance, as I've spoke about previously on this channel, between pleasing people, giving people good deals, being fair, not overcharging, and I feel like you can just find such a perfect balance within there to make nice profits. Obviously, you can offer 50-60%, tell someone the cards are worth, but knack all, give them a shit trade offer, but at the end of the day, it's only going to bite you in the arse. You make more money on that one transaction, but they're never going to come back to you. You're going to get a bad name for yourself, and what's the point in that? And obviously, morally, you're just an arse if you're doing that as well. So remaining fair, finding the balance, giving people good deals and being honest with everyone. That's what I love about vending. It's gone real well so far. All the shows we've done have been real successful, some more than others, but ultimately overall, yeah, vending's been class. And when it comes to a weekend, I've been working Monday to Friday, and if I'm vending Saturday, Sunday, or just Saturday, or just Sunday, don't even feel like work. I love going, love doing it, it's class. Obviously, when that alarm goes off in the morning, sometimes it hits quite hard, and when I get in on a night and you got work here the next day, it can be hard, but that's what it's about. You've got to put the effort in to try and grow the business, and that's what we're trying to do. I think I've covered everything kind of wanted to talk about. Maybe gone off on a bit of a tangent at some point, but ultimately everything I've spoke about has been great for the business. The vending machines, the TikTok shop, the WhatNot, the vending, the website. I think that's everything, and everything's been so important in its own way, and it still all plays a part to this day. Even the vending machines, I think they'll have their time again when we can get more stock readily available. They'll have their time. That's why I've kept them. I've not sold them. They will become an important asset again in the future, I'm sure. So it's all about being patient, biding your time, just like a lot of things within this business and just in general. And that's it. I'm going to stop waffling bollocks now. I hope that some people watch this video. If you have watched it, I do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that total bollocks that you meant to say at the end of a YouTube video. And that's about it, innit? I think. Yeah. Right, nice one. Cheers for watching, and sin a bit.